Hello and welcome to the LFC Stuff podcast. As ever, we are socially distancing. So, joining me, David, I have got Shane over in Ireland, as ever, and we've got Josh from the Midlands. How's it going, guys?
Grand.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How's lockdown been?
It's been grueling. Not seeing people when I didn't see people before anyway, so nothing's really changed.
Great. It's great for us reclusive types.
It's the rise
business
of
as
the
usual.
introverts.
If except like working from home now as well. So
Is there any particular things that you sort of turn to?
I've turned to running. I can run now. I did a 10k the other day. I didn't know I could run 1k, never mind 10. So yeah, that's something that I've been good at. I just need to invest in some decent shoes because my legs are screwed. Feet are fucked.
Are yours hideously flat like that?
I don't actually know. I just think the running shoes I'm using at the moment are not fit for purpose and should be discontinued by Nike. But yeah, I'm going to buy some New Balances, I think. That's my life.
I think I've read Michael Cox's zonal marking, which was a particular delight purely because of the chapter where he pretty much picks Zinedine Zidane apart and moral. I was a fan of that, and I am 3/4 of the way of a book on the history of the Roman Empire. So,
that's some jump.
Is that also by Michael Cox?
Yeah, I always said he's got range.
It's in the Athletic if you saw it read. No, so finding out what people were doing, upwards of 2,000 years ago is pretty interesting. I have got one particular excerpt from it where I think it was after Julius Caesar takes the throne, and the guys who were kind of deposing him, one of them they all run into hide, and there was 3 of them, I think. They all try to commit suicide in proper weird ways. One of them stabs himself and doesn't die. And when his family members and doctors are trying to help him, he reaches into the gash and pulls out his own bowels.
Oh. That's nice. I mean, welcome everybody to the Roman Empire Stuff podcast. I mean,
there you go. I mean, come on, we can't. We knew we were going to go on some kind of tangents based on.
Didn't realise it'd be the first 5 minutes.
We always go on tangents. Probably felt like when Timo Werner was announced for Chelsea, but
sad times.
Any particular things that you've been up to, Shane?
Just playing a lot of fucking PlayStation. I also shaved my head pretty much at the start of the lockdown, and now it's like bizarrely growing back longer on the sides than on top. So I've got like Alex. What's his name for ESPN? He had the Oasis haircut.
Oh, Alex Smith, is it? No, it's not Alex Smith.
No,
Alex Shaw.
That's it.
Yeah. So I'm like fucking Shanta Alex Shaw going around now, and like the hair's like it's like growing over my ears and everything. It's like I don't know, it looks so weird. So that was that's been the highlight of my thing.
See, I did that, and then basically I just got it shaved all in like the same number, and then my hair is really weird, so it just grows back at the exact same length all over.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I think
that's what mine normally does, but for some reason it's like a weird bald pattern, like growth delay or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, right. Anyway, moving from the topic of hair, we can move on to football. Yeah,
it's back, baby.
It's back. Did any of you catch the City Arsenal game?
I did.
Yeah.
David Luiz is still David Luiz. Nice to know that lockdown treated him no differently to it did before. So
it was a vintage Arsenal performance.
Yeah,
it has to be said. I don't think I've seen a team so woeful against certain opposition as Arsenal against Man City. These just seem to get trounced
I thought they
every
started.
time.
They started pretty well. 15 minutes. I thought, oh, do you know what? They're pleasantly surprised. They're playing out quite nicely. They're getting forward. They're getting at Man City, and then suddenly something just switched. I think it was probably David Luiz, and it just all melted away. But anyone who had any sort of hope or faith in Arsenal getting anything against Manchester City obviously doesn't watch football, doesn't know football, because that was never going to happen.
Imagine being an Arsenal fan. You waited so long for them to come back, and you had to watch that.
Yeah, that is the worst bit about, I think, fans for crap teams, is the fact that they've obviously had to wait so long for inevitable disappointment. Arsenal being the key example of that. So anyone who supports a team that's probably going to lose at the weekend, you kind of have to feel a little bit sorry for them.
Do we feel sorry for Sheffield United?
Yes.
Do you? Really? Because I thought they were fucking awful.
Oh, they yeah. I mean, they were terrible.
I just wanted them to finish. They would have pushed United back down to 6th. So.
No, they were really bad.
That was the real tragedy.
Like, I think me and my dad was just watching it. Kind of no football at all was being played in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
Like Sheffield United were committing so much to these wide overloads. They had about 6 players.
Yeah, it was
On
mad
one
watching how
side.
many players they have. But
Like-
even they almost had too many, so they couldn't fashion a good chance.
Yeah, so they had nothing in the middle, and you're like, well, so who's going to finish your chances if you've got everyone on one side of the pitch? It's kind of doesn't work. But yeah, I guess it's a shame that United weren't pushed further down the pecking order, especially with City looking likely to lose against Cass based on all of the reports that are coming out of it. So that 5th position's pretty vital this season. I don't know whether maybe Tottenham might be a bit resurgent now that they've got players back.
I think it'll be Wolves, personally.
Do you think it'll be Wolves?
They were struggling with the whole fixture build-up being the Europa League, so I think having that break and then coming back, because they're not an easy team to play against. We struggled against them in both games this season. So yeah, I think Wolves could be the dark horse for 5th.
Do we know what's the situation with the Europa League? Is it just getting played like the Champions League? Or?
Yeah, I think they're doing it in Germany. It was going to be Frankfurt, but I don't know if Frankfurt are doing it now. But yeah, so Champions League's obviously at Lisbon. Europa League's the same sort of thing, I think, in Germany. But I don't think they've announced that yet. I'm not sure.
I don't know whether it is just kind of the tribalistic Liverpool fan in me that's kind of hating the fact that the Champions League is still going ahead. It's just, it's completely bizarre. They've, like, I don't know. I just don't understand why it's necessary, and it's just fucking over so many teams in the competition too.
But I think that will be the true asterisk winner of the Champions League, because it's a whole different format now. At least Liverpool are playing for 3 points.
Have you seen the fixtures though? It's not even changing the format of it. It's you're getting teams who are getting 2 days more rest than others, and everything. It's bizarre the way they're doing it.
It's just UEFA, isn't it? They want a winner. They want to have their showpiece event. I don't blame them for doing it. It's good they're doing it after seasons are finishing.
I mean, listen, it's good for Liverpool because Man City aren't going to get a bit of rest, are they? But
nobody really knows when we're going to start the season next season. That's the big thing. Obviously, they've announced the Champions League's going to start a month later than usual, so it's going to start in October, the group stage. But whether the Premier League's back by then, I don't know. I just think the Premier League will say, "Look, you've kind of had a pre-season already. We're going to finish this season. It's going to be a pretty quick turnaround, and we'll go again like we normally would."
Well, I think the major issue is going to be the international comps, because you've got the Euros next year. Obviously, you've probably got AFCON in January, and then you've got obviously the World Cup, which is in the winter the year after. It's just going to be a complete nothing mess.
I think there's no international friendlies, are there? So they've been cancelled, but obviously I think there's Euro qualifications still need to be played.
Yeah, there's Euro qualifications, and then you've
is it
still got
the
World Cup
playoffs?
as well.
Is it the Euro playoffs?
I think so. I think it's the Ireland in one, Shane.
I thought
What?
Ireland were.
Ireland in a Euro playoff.
Fuck, I can't remember. I think so. I actually can't remember. Wait, where the group stages finished?
Yeah.
Fuck, I should probably know that. Shouldn't. Let me double check.
God, this is why you're the resident Irishman. We need this. We need this.
Yeah, you can't be asking the English people to tell you when the
Information.
Irish fixtures are.
I know, the bloody imperialists. Come on.
Let's see now. No, it's through the groups. Oh wait. Oh yeah, we were. Yeah. We're against.
You're against Denmark, aren't you?
Oh no, wait, that's the Euro.
Don't you
Nations.
always play Denmark?
What?
Yeah, I think that's why it's popping in my head.
I don't think Ireland have played a playoff that hasn't been against Denmark ever.
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, let's say we are sure. Yeah, go on.
I'll look it up. I'll find out.
I don't know what to Google. I don't know what to
Jesus.
Google.
Just put Euro 2021 playoffs.
LFC
Google.
stuff. Facts.
Were the qualifiers definitely finished?
I thought they were finished, or they need to be like maybe one group game left.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think it wasn't decided, but I could be wrong.
Oh my god, it's really complicated.
Yeah, because the Nations League as well.
So
Yeah, that's why I was finding live
I
score.
think Bulgaria are playing Hungary, Iceland, Romania. Ireland are playing Slovakia, whilst Northern Ireland are playing Bosnia. So Shane, you've got
But is that
Slovakia.
not that's the Euro Nation Leagues, is it not?
Is it?
Yeah, that's what you're looking at, you idiot.
No, I'm looking at UEFA.
No,
Euro
you've got
2020
Slovakia. Yeah,
qualifying
you've got
playoffs.
Slovakia.
It says, hang on.
Euro 2021 is what it obviously is, but they're not calling it that. But yeah, you're in Path C, I think. Path B, even.
Ah, yes, of course.
And that's in October. So it could be Ireland versus the Republic of Ireland. Sorry, Northern Ireland versus the Republic of Ireland to go into Euro 2020. Imagine that.
I'm sure there'll be no trouble.
No, not at all. So yeah, there's going to be international fixtures. I think was the point we were trying to make. So yeah, next season's a mess. Just finish this season and cancel football. That's what I would say. Forever.
Just cancel international football.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen that Liverpool won't be in the League Cup next season?
Yeah, that's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, that's fantastic because if
But why didn't they?
I don't know why they don't just can the League Cup for a year.
Yeah,
Because you're gonna have people saying it's not the true tournament because the best teams aren't in it.
I mean, not that I necessarily care, but I just like seeing young players play. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if Everton don't win it next season, they'll never win it.
Fucking hell.
But they can't beat teenagers in an FA Cup tie. So
What's the threshold? Is it top 6 or
top
is it
7.
any team in Europe?
I think it's the teams in Europe. Because is that new? When does that Conference League start? Is that next season or the season after?
No, season after, I think.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it'll be top 7 like it normally is for round 3.
Yeah, they really should be winning that then.
Yeah. It'll be them or Wolves. Oh, they'll be in Europe, won't they?
No, Wolves will be in Europe.
it'll
I was
be-
thinking Wolves, but then they'll be in Europe.
Yeah, it's got
so-
to be Everton, surely.
Or
I
Leeds.
don't actually know also what the Premier League table looks like.
Dirty Leeds.
Anyone know what the Premier League table looks like?
Liverpool
Liverpool
top.
top.
I know that bit.
City is second.
Hey.
Leicester a third.
I mean the
Chelsea
relegation
fourth.
battle because that's the only thing that's particularly fun.
I don't know, but as long as Aston Villa go down, I
Aston
don't
Villa
care.
on 19th. Bournemouth 18th. Do you think Eddie Howe gets sacked if they go down?
No, I'll get the England job.
England
God.
rewarding failure as usual. I think he's one of those he'll leave with his head held high. Everton are 12th.
Mind you, it doesn't look like Watford can be arsed playing, so Watford will probably end up going down.
Yeah. Big Nigel though, he'll be making sure they're up for it.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to be pulling every fucking excuse out the hat, didn't they?
Yeah.
At one point.
I didn't realise Brighton were 15th.
Yeah, they've slid
Yeah.
right down the table.
Maybe Potterball's had a chance to be ingrained in the players over the last few weeks.
Southampton could be a shout to win the EFL Cup.
Yeah, because they take cup competitions really seriously, don't they?
They got to the final a few years ago, didn't they? Against United.
Yeah,
Lost.
should have won.
Mm.
Claude Puel.
Fucking Claude Puel. Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, we can move on to, obviously, Liverpool's match against the aforementioned Ev this weekend. We haven't really got any context to go on other than leaks in the Athletic about how good Naby Keita is. I feel like it's a bit of a Guinean thing because all I've seen is stories about Keita and Pogba being amazing.
Yeah, and Salah might be injured.
Yeah, Salah might be injured. That's all we can really go off. Minamino looks fairly sharp as well, based on what the club have let everybody see. But I don't know.
We can't really go off a 6-0 against Blackburn, can we? Really, it's not something we can.
That's all we have.
Reference, yeah.
No,
it's almost like it's the first day of the season.
Did you actually see the defending as well? They were abysmal.
Yeah, they're not a very good team, Blackburn.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it's just me Derby instincts kicking in, but
it's just one of them that draw. Yeah, it's gonna be underwhelming whatever happens, because I think people have kind of psyched themselves up so much now that they've got it in their heads that Liverpool will probably be champions next week after the Palace game. You know, so everyone's already going to be thinking about the Palace game rather than this one, because of Man City winning. But I think it's just going to be one of those games where we've seen them already in the last couple of years where it's just dour at Goodison. They try hard not to lose. We try hard not to lose. We end up just cancelling each other out, and it'll be like that. I reckon that either they'll nick it 1-0 or it'll be 0-0.
You've also got the Ancelotti effect.
Always does a number on you
against him whatsoever. Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe the 5 substitutions might help us somewhat.
Yeah.
Because everyone's fit, bar maybe Salah, but I think even if Salah's maybe marginally, he'll still get minutes.
Yeah, Salah and Robertson are the 2 doubts. So Milner at left back could be fun.
Milner at left back, great. At least that'll give a guaranteed spot for Naby.
Even then, though, Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum could be the 3. Actually, I don't think he'll start Fabinho. I think Henderson will be back in his number 6.
Has he been listening to Twitter a bit too much?
Well,
yeah. Why does everybody hate Fabinho?
Because Ben started it. Ben just started randomly making memes of Fabinho, and they've caught on, and I now hate Ben for it. If you listen to Ben. But
yeah, it's so bizarre because I was like, was he not like the savior of this team? I thought everybody's dunking on him online. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it's weird because I don't really think many other DMs have the role that he does. Like, he has to cover literally the whole middle of the pitch, whereas a lot of DMs just have to cover like the middle part and behind. He's literally asked to counterpress their DM, which is inevitably going to leave space behind. And then when the fullbacks are getting cover for, it inevitably leaves even more space. I don't really think people take much of that context into consideration, but I don't really see much of an issue with him. He's been a bit iffy this season. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's been anywhere near as bad as made out to be.
Yeah, he's had a few goals that were kind of his fault.
I think it's one of them though, isn't it? That where you have 2 months out of the team because of an injury, it's not easy to kind of go straight back in.
It might also be because of how good Henderson's been as well.
Yeah.
No, that never really helps.
Yeah, I can't believe how good he was.
Yeah, I mean, Fabinho was the one making Henderson look
Average.
You could say average, yeah.
Somebody's not a fan of Jordan Henderson.
Lucy doesn't like Henderson.
You don't get this anywhere else. And staying in.
Oh, there we go. She's still going on. Fucking offensive. What, a dog being offended by
propaganda?
Yeah, she's still growling. Are you done? Yeah, she's done. But yeah, so I think it's just the comparisons that make one or the other look a bit naff, so to speak. I could get through that without the dog bark, and that was good.
But yeah, it's just going to be. It's weird. It's like we've had 3 months of no football. I think it's 100 and something days, and I just don't want to watch the game on Sunday. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't feel that bothered, to be honest, about football in general, and we're going to win the league, and it just. I haven't said that on Twitter because I think it'll give far too many people far too much satisfaction, but it really has put a dampener on it, like so badly.
Yeah, just a bit.
I think it'll be a nice feeling there when it finally happens, but it'll feel very surreal.
Yeah,
and I think because it'll only feel real when fans are back at Anfield. You know, there's a trophy parade at some point. I just got a really nice image of us having a trophy parade and just bringing back Adam Lallana from wherever he's been and gone, can he have a day out on the bus with us, please? But he has to wear his new kit, his new team's kit, because he's on loan for the day. It's a nice image.
We're going to be getting him from Ibiza, let's be real.
Well, I think we'll have to get him from the clutches of the Brodge. Because he's almost definitely going to Leicester, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, talking about Leicester, Ben Chilwell, Chelsea. Is that
Chelsea just signing everyone, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, now they're relaxing or they're suspending FFP for a season, they can get away with it. The oligarchies will be.
Well, apparently we're broke.
Yeah, we can't afford. Anything. So, I mean, if AFCON is in January, we have to do something. Could you imagine a front three for 6 weeks of Firmino, Origi, and Minamino? Maybe
it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't know who's out there that's affordable, first team quality, and will accept maybe playing second fiddle for most of the season.
I never understood the argument that they'd be second fiddle, because when we had Coutinho, I think we rotated the forward just fine.
Yeah, they very rarely play together.
Yeah, but it was because you can't play them all the time, so you just one of them has to miss every 4 games.
Yeah,
when they're all fit, and it's no big deal. But I don't know. Klopp doesn't seem to have any interest in that, and hence why Timo Werner's gone to Chelsea.
That is a bitter pill, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sickened.
Because it's like he's been flirting with us for 6 months, and we've basically gone, yeah, we'll do it, don't worry, we'll do it. And then suddenly there's a global pandemic, and the money men deciding, no, we're not spending any money. It's the first time I felt a little bit of frustration towards FSG regarding transfers for a while, because I think
Yeah.
it's purely them.
Yeah, come on, it is like as much as people are defending it. I understand that the money might not be there. Like that's fine. However, the money isn't there for Chelsea. The reason Chelsea are going to be able to spend it is that their owners backing them, and I'm not asking FSG to back the club blindly, but they are happy to invest in the club when they know it's adding value onto the club in terms of an actual value of which they can sell the club for. They're happy to give the club loans then, but they won't be happy to float the club money now in the midst of a global pandemic to keep competitive. I'm not the biggest advocate of that. I don't think anyone should be, to be honest. But
I understand this argument they've gone out with, that how can we ask people to take pay cuts and then sign someone? But then the response to that is, you shouldn't have had to. You should be just covering their wages anyway.
who's taking a pay cut?
Well, the staff have. I know Klopp did. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if players have. I don't know if they made anything public about it. But that was what Klopp said. He said, "How can we ask players to I think he said something about them taking a pay cut and then presenting this shiny new player. It didn't sit right with people. So I get that, but as you say, the owner at Chelsea is backing the club, and I think FSG can, and they just won't.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they've kind of got a bit of egg on their face when UEFA have come out and said they're suspending FFP for a season.
they've had a lot of egg on the face right the way through this situation.
Yeah,
from the start with the staff to begin with.
Yeah, the furlough and what have you.
I mean, that is literally the most basic kind of from an ethical standpoint to like that's not a big amount of money to FSG.
No.
to literally just float the club that money if needed, and they seem to be unwilling to do that. So I'm not really sure why people are defending them so ardently over this, because we've literally seen earlier in the
we've seen in the past
situation
as well, when things start to turn towards money, FSG can become very, very toxic in the way they deal with things and the way they approach things, and they constantly have to make a decision and then row back on it and apologise. It's happened plenty of times before, and the one thing I expected straight as soon as the furlough scheme was announced, I kind of knew Liverpool are going to try and use this, and there's going to be a massive reaction. And there was, and rightly so, because the club can afford to pay its staff with the money they've got, and the owners can afford to pay their staff with the money they've got. So
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It is. But I can somewhat understand the win in the fact that it would have to be all up front.
Yeah,
purely due to it being a release clause. So I can somewhat understand that, plus the wages as well. But I don't think it's an excuse to not potentially move somebody. It also depends on whether the player is available. There is that. Like, a lot of the signs that we make is so situational. Like it's very much dependent on whether or not we can get the move at the right time, which is always the line that is pushed from the club. But I can actually kind of believe it. But we really need to move for someone, even if it is just to replace the likes of Shaqiri, because as much as I like Curtis Jones, I don't think Curtis Jones can fill that void.
No. He should be midfield. He should be replacing Lallana.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be in the front three.
I think he could do a bit of both. He's probably a bit... He's a bit Coutinho-y without Coutinho's attacking ability, really. But he's got that ball control, and that he's relatively two-footed as well, which is pretty cool. But Curtis Jones can take that squad role, but we really do need to be replacing Shaqiri, because when Shaqiri has played, he's actually produced.
Well, you look at Everton, the Everton game earlier in the season, where we beat them at Anfield. He was brilliant. Klopp did his usual, I'm going to do a starting 11 for the derby that everyone's going to hate.
No,
this time it worked, but so don't be surprised to see Divock Origi starting on Sunday. But yeah, I think Shaqiri. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of when the transfer window is going to be. There's talk of it being extended to October, and that means there's maybe not so much of a rush to get things done now, which is understandable. And then you can assess the situation at the end of the season in August, wherever, when everything comes a little bit more clear. You know what situation is. You know when you have more of an idea when fans are going to be in stadiums and what have you, so you can kind of plan for future income. And then obviously, yeah, if we do sell like the likes of Shaqiri and Lallana and what have you, who's leaving, but that will free up a bit of money, and maybe that's when the club takes stock and go, right, okay, we can do this, this, and this. I don't think we will. I think it'll be like last season. It'll be something. If we do sign someone, it'll be like a Minamino kind of deal. It won't be a big flashy deal that gets tongues wagging about it. But I think it'll just be something that is solid and dependable, which Shaqiri was meant to be when he signed. I think it was a smart move then, but he obviously got injured, wasn't available as often as we would have liked, so it kind of left us back at square one. So that's the I think the thought process. We'll see in a couple of months, a month or two, what the lay of the lies like, and we can then make a decision. But I think someone to replace Shaqiri and probably cover for Robertson are the two things that really need to happen.
Yeah, have you got any takes on RFSG, Shane?
I'm a bit confused about how we have no money. That kind of baffles me a little bit, particularly because people are like, oh well, Chelsea were banned for a transfer window. I was like, well, we may as well have been, because we didn't spend anything. And yeah, I am a bit confused, even just between winning the Champions League and the revenue and all that. I'm a bit confused about the lines that we have no money. But at the end of the day, so that's kind of Klopp's call as well, and he has that bit of Wenger in him where he wants, if he can, kind of wing it and do things on the cheap, he will, where compared to like the opposite end of the scale of Mourinho is like leave nothing to chance, buy that player, kind of gamble the other way, gamble on spending money. And yeah, Shaqiri's been really good, I think. He's been pretty good value, and he's always been like the ideal squad player. But yeah, if he's off, it'll be interesting to see if we get the old internal solution, as they call it, or if they think Minamino's ready, I guess, to take a bigger role.
But to a lot of people, I think the internal solution's Harry Wilson, and he'll be going as well, I think. So
no, it's not.
It can't be him. He can't.
No, I'm not saying for me or you. I mean, there'll be
similar
people out
profile.
there.
I get what you mean.
There'll be people out there who will be thinking, Wilson's had a season in the Premier League. He'll come back and he'll do the Shaqiri role for us, and he won't. He'll be sold because he's not good enough.
Yeah, Shaqiri actually gets on the ball.
Yeah, but we will get nowhere near as much money for either of them than we would have if this hadn't happened. So it's kind of screwed us over a little bit in terms of how much. We're not going to get 30 million for Shaqiri. You're not going to get 25 million for Wilson, which is obviously those are the sort of figures.
Don't rule Bournemouth out. Don't rule them out.
But they don't know what league they're going to be in. They're in the relegation zone.
Eddie Howe just loves punting money.
I would say don't rule Eddie Howe out, because he'll probably get a job in the Premier League again. So when he takes over,
try and sign Harry Wilson
when he takes over at Brighton or something, then Harry Wilson will be moving there.
Yeah. Harry Wilson will probably be a good source of dough, to be honest, for this little transfer kitty in the summer.
Paper.
Hopefully the war chest as ever. But I think it does it's underpinned by this need to reinforce, especially with Man City looking unlikely to be in the Champions League. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens at City if they do fail at CAS. I mean, is there going to be a mass exodus? I think Guardiola's already said he's going to stay. So, does he just kind of own the Premier League for 2 seasons?
Well, Sané's going, isn't he?
Well, Sané's going, yeah, but that. I think that would have been regardless.
We should sign him.
Yeah.
I wonder would they let us sign any other players?
Well, we could have him on a free next season if we wait.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us sign Sané, but it will be a thing of trying to get him on a free. But then he would have to stay at City for an extra year, which isn't the best of things for Liverpool.
I mean, I think it's pretty common knowledge if he goes to Bayern anyway. So he'll be playing for Bayern next season.
Yeah, I think that doesn't look like the case, but there's so many ifs and buts. But I am already looking forward to next season rather than looking forward to this season. I think that's. I don't know. There just doesn't seem much to play for.
Yeah, it almost feels like it is just a bit of a slog to get this done.
And I don't think I'm invested in any of the other teams whatsoever. Like, I really don't care about Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. I really, really don't care. And I don't know. Wolves, me. Sheffield United, me.
Sounds like you hold the Premier League in a bit of contempt at the moment. Will you not be watching Man United Tottenham later?
Is it later?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Pretty sure it's tonight.
That shows how much I've really been keeping tabs with. I had my dad asking me all kinds of questions the other day, and I was just kind of turning around and just don't know. I don't know anything really. I'll probably end up watching more Bundesliga than I do Premier League, even though that's tied up. It's a bit weird. No, I probably won't actually. I take that back. I'm still a bit reeling off Timo.
Timo Werner watch is cancelled.
Yeah. Unless I want to go on some kind of Unkunku watch or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to watch the La Liga.
Oh God.
I'll have to because I'm doing a profile.
The games are shit without the fans, aren't they? Like there's no noise or.
The fan noise on Sky is shit.
Oh, it's brutal. I had to as soon as I saw on my feed that you could watch it on the other channel with no noise. I was like, "Yep, there I go."
It would just be great to hear Jurgen Klopp telling Lovren to fuck off in 5 different languages.
Don't get me started on Dejan Lovren.
No. Nobody wants Dejan Lovren.
Let's not do that.
The quicker he goes, the better.
Yeah. I mean, he's been a blatant gobshite for years now. I don't know why.
Coronavirus has not brought out the best in Dejan Lovren. David Icke fanboy.
I don't know why it's taken so long for people to cotton on to the fact that he's a prat, but hey ho, it finally happens. Everyone's realised.
Yeah, he's a stain.
Yeah. No. He seems to be one of those people who thinks that because he's got a brown friend, he's not a racist.
Yeah,
He's just not the nicest.
That old chestnut.
Yeah. But actually, one of the highlights of my lockdown has been Mo Salah's very cute posts on social media with his daughter.
Yeah, she was counting yesterday, wasn't she?
I think she was counting. Was it eggs in the basket?
Yeah. Is it English and Spanish? Real Madrid move on the cards.
I can't see.
But he's not in training. Maybe he doesn't want to get injured.
Maybe he's just doing a Milner on it and he refuses to speak to his child in any other language than Spanish. So they'll learn.
That is incredibly funny. Genuinely.
Yeah.
So, basically, football's back and we don't care about it. That's the main main takeaway from today? And that
It's nice to have something back on the TV.
yeah. I was getting bored of binging Netflix and other streaming services.
Is Dave gone?
He may well be having his phone call that
Oh.
he was saying. So we can briefly talk about the games tonight. Let's have a look. What have we got? We're recording on the Friday night. If for those listening, it was Norwich versus Southampton. Massive game in the relegation battle at Carrow Road. I think Norwich will have welcomed the break because they were starting to, I think, blow out a little bit.
They've been blowing out all season, haven't they?
Yeah, I think Southampton the same. Playing the
Southampton
football.
were in good form before the break. I could be wrong.
No, I mean they'll be welcome for the break because of how they play. They've only won one of the last 5. They lost 4 of the last 5. So break came at the right time. I think that'd be a good game. Actually, I think Norwich know.
Yeah, I do too.
They're 6 points from safety. Norwich at the bottom, so it's a pretty important game for them, especially as Watford have got Leicester tomorrow. So I don't know. I think that could be like a 2-2 back and forth game. Both sides playing nice football, defending calamitously, but scoring some nice goals.
It's a recipe for success if ever I heard one.
Yes. Norwich were in okay form, slightly better than Southampton's. And then after that is the game that everybody's been fawning over: Tottenham versus Manchester United, the Mourinho Derby. Dele Alli suspended for his coronavirus video or whatever it was.
Oh, he actually got a ban for that.
Yeah, he got a 1-match ban, so he will not be playing tonight.
What a dumbass.
Do you think Mourinho and Spurs will have benefited from having some time to work on things? Or has Mourinho completely lost it?
I'll kick about in the park.
Yeah. I mean,
Mourinho calling over to Ndombele's house.
Go for a run.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it'll make any difference because I don't think that squad can do what Mourinho wants it to. And whether... I think that's just a recipe for disaster, Mourinho, Spurs, because they're only 4 points off the Champions League, which is 5th, if we are going on the basis that Man City will be banned. So they are well in the conversation, and obviously they need to win, because if Man United win, then they're suddenly 7 points off 5th. So it's a huge 6-pointer. But I just worry about Spurs that they don't have that Mourinho mindset. I don't think, because they were so poor against Liverpool. It's the one game that sticks out when they played us and we beat them 1-0, and it just seemed like they were waiting for us to score.
Yeah, they were terrible
until like the last 20 minutes when they went for it.
It was like.
And that's like kind of proves my point.
Try and stay in it for the last 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then...
And it kind of proves my point that Tottenham are better when they go after teams. And we started to see it at the end of Pochettino's reign when they were passive and they were just easy to beat, easy to play against. I don't think that's changed. Like their last 3 games, they've a point from 9 out of 9 points. So I don't want to talk about Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba because I've fed up of people talking about them too.
Apparently Solskjaer isn't even going to play them together.
I don't think they can really play together. Really,
You could do a diamond. That's like the only way.
yeah. They've done that a few times, haven't they? That with Rashford and Martial.
But then you're like asking a lot of your fullbacks and like Wan-Bissaka.
Well, Wan-Bissaka's not very good going forward, and Luke Shaw doesn't like running very much, so I don't think that suits them. I think Tottenham will win, but I don't think it'll be a very good game.
Just 2 not very good teams. Like I can see United spawning it though. Just
Yeah,
the way they seem to do in the 6 games, and then they'll immediately drop the points to whatever bottom table team they're up against next.
It'll probably be 0-0. Now we've said that, it'll just be a dull, turgid, stodgy, a bit like Aston Villa, Sheffield United.
I'm gonna hope that it's open enough and there's goals and stuff. But yeah. Did you notice in the city Arsenal as well, players started to look a bit tired after the first quarter of the game?
Yeah, they definitely look like they'd not been up to that sort of speed. The one thing I don't get is the water breaks. Why are they having water breaks halfway through each half? I don't understand it. It's not exactly hot. I mean, whether it is because they can't do that intensity as much these days because they've not played.
I think it's because it's summer, I guess, and because.
But it was pissing it down at 13 degrees in Manchester for the Arsenal game, and they still had water breaks.
I don't know. I guess even still, they're probably not used to this average temperature.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny seeing them all. Because I remember it happened at the World Cup, didn't it? When it was really hot, and you're like, that's understandable. But it was basically British autumn.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just.
I think it's just in place regardless, and yeah, like you said, it's probably because of the break for the virus that it's probably just to. Give them a little break as well.
Things, yeah. I mean,
it's all very surreal, this whole thing.
it really is. I forgot what I was going to say. The whole 5 subs thing is a massive thing to get used to, because I keep thinking, he's made all his subs.
Yeah, Arsenal were
2 more on.
Arsenal were very keen to take advantage of it in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed. You can only do them at certain times, can't you? You're only allowed 3 sub slots to make your changes, so you have to send a couple on at the same time. It's just something that's difficult to get used to, because obviously you've grown up your entire life 3 subs, and then someone's got injured, you're thinking, they're down to 10 men here, and then hang on, 2 more people are coming on. Strange. It's really surreal, and I just can't wait until football's back to normal, because
have they said when the new season's starting?
No. I mean, the Champions League dates are out. They know when they're starting them. So I don't know when. I think they've got to finish this season first.
Wasn't the season going to get turned upside down anyways for the 2022 World Cup?
Yeah, there was good.
That was going to have to be a Winter World Cup.
It's going to need some rejigging, because obviously November and December are basically a write-off.
Maybe Corona's like a Qatari conspiracy. to move to the calendar.
5G.
Yeah.
Qatari 5G conspiracy. But I don't know how they're going to do it. I honestly don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do next season after next, when they will obviously have to stop for 2 months. Whether they can kind of use this as a way of reshaping the calendar, and maybe. See, I don't know why they don't just move to calendar year competition and have the season in 2021 from January through to August, and then have the World Cup, or January through to September, then have the World Cup. But then when do you put it back to normal? I don't envy the people who have to make the decisions on the football calendar.
Yeah, we just need to get it up and playing, or else
but then again,
we'll be bankrupt.
You can't do the calendar. I've just thought myself, you can't do the calendar year things. You've got the Euros in the summer, so everything's been rejigged and moved around, and it's leaving no space to fit anything in. I think you've got to can cup competitions for a year, maybe 2 years, and just say, look, we can't really have cup competitions apart from the Football League trophy or whatever it is that Johnston's paint. That's a pinnacle of English football and should never be terminated. That competition is iconic.
Is it the EFL trophy now?
Yeah, I think it's the leasing.com trophy.
That's the one.
So
nice.
You know how good the competition is with the sponsor name,
Landlords and stuff.
The landlord's trophy.
the Landlord's Trophy.
Hey, that does actually suit the lower leagues, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fucking right wing balance. I mean, did anybody see that the flags around Villa Park? Literally every single one was a fucking
England flag.
St George's cross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mental.
Oh, it's the
Absolutely
Royals Club.
it is the Royals Club. That's a good point. Would that not be
Even though-
Britannia, etc.?
It was a nice tribute to Dean Smith's dad, though. The steward's jacket on the seat.
No idea. I knew about Guardiola losing a parent. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Smith's dad died ages ago, didn't he?
Oh, he died because of coronavirus.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I thought he died a while ago.
No, he died in the whole peak of it all, along with Pep Guardiola's mother. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, Pep was really weird when Garcia was going off.
Yeah, that was odd.
That was a brutal knockout. To
Yeah,
be fair,
he got flattened.
he got
Edison
absolutely
being
killed.
Edison.
I had people justifying them to me on Twitter, and I was just kind of like, I don't see how there's any justification for that. He's just absolutely cleared them out with absolutely complete disregard.
Yeah, even he wasn't particularly fussed about what he'd done. Walking around
Should have been-
smiling, joking.
Should have been sent off.
I did find it weird that Martin Tyler referenced Sadio Mane. In it.
Well, he was putting someone at risk. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who he was putting at risk. He was putting somebody at risk. He's just completely clattered them. And as I was saying, like, people were under the impression I was making some kind of 3-year-long dig about Sadio Mane. It wasn't. It was the fact that he punched Kelechi Iheanacho earlier in the season. He also injured Harvey Barnes and got sent off against Wolves for doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
like,
the Wolves one was pretty mental. The way
he
he came
does
out.
it all the time, and people say last line. He is the last line of defence, but why is no other sweeper keeper punching people in the face? And
Yeah.
like,
Because Alisson sweeps, he doesn't do that.
Alisson sweeps and Neuer sweeps,
Yeah.
doesn't punch people in the face on a semi-regular basis.
I think he's a bit weird.
He's a lunatic.
Yeah.
That's what he
He's
is.
an absolute psychopath.
Like, and look at the tattoos he's got. The guy's a lunatic.
Anyone with a smiley face tattoo is a lunatic and should be.
He was sat there pointing out the tooth marks in his gloves rather than taking care of his teammate. Like, the man is a lunatic.
Wait, did he actually punt? I thought he just collided with him.
No, he had teeth marks in his glove.
What? Holy shit!
He might have collided with him and he's just caught his arm in his face. I don't know. I don't think he punched him.
Yeah,
He clotheslined him a
Eric
little
Garcia
bit.
got absolutely obliterated.
And Pep Guardiola seemed to be more interested in his team's tactics than the welfare of his player, who's just been knocked out for about 5 minutes. It's like, great, nice to see you've got priorities in order.
Yeah, I have my own my own suspicions about Guardiola, which I've said on the podcast in the past.
Yeah, don't need to be said again. We don't want to insult the bald community too much.
Yeah, bold man. Oh. Anyway, should we get into the predictions?
Oh, predictions! I love predictions. What, just for the Liverpool game?
Oh yeah, we can start off with Shane.
I have no fucking idea. I'll just say Liverpool 3-0. But I have no idea what the game's going to look like.
Has Shane watched a Liverpool-Everton derby at Goodison over the past few years?
Are you just assuming that Everton are gonna like just get there and go, I can't be asked playing? Let's forfeit.
Yeah, I don't know. They're a bit crap, aren't they? So like, I think we might. There's a chance we might flatten them. So I'll say 3-0.
There is a chance that we could flatten. We could just be fitter than them.
Yeah, I think that's where we'll have an edge. We've got a very good fitness team.
Yeah, I trust the backroom team to have us in tip-top shape.
Yeah, I think me and Shane were saying that Arsenal and City players were struggling, even in the first half. I don't think we'll struggle. I think we might get to 70, 80 minutes and then start to blow out, but that's a lot more than other teams will. And yeah, the five subs rule will really help us. I think we'll really benefit from that. But my prediction is 0-0.
I am going to go with 1-0. 1-0 Liverpool.
Oh, let's change the tune.
Change my shit.
I would take 0-0 though. I think you keep a clean sheet in your first game back after 3-4.
I just don't want to get beat, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't want.
I think this is my attitude going into the Goodison Derby every year. I just like not being beaten by Everton.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really that bothered about winning.
It is a really horrible feeling. I mean, it's nice that we haven't had that feeling for a while as well, because I think everyone expected it in the FA Cup, and when Adrian was making save after save in the first half, everyone was thinking, "Oh, they're going to get a second half." No, they didn't, and it was one of the best wins we've had against them because our children beat them, and that was really fun.
Yeah, I just don't like giving them anything. Nothing. They can't have anything.
I think Jordan Pickford will do a Pickford moment. Whether he'll be punished for it, I don't know, but I think we will see the best of Jordan Pickford. And when I say the best, I mean the best for us, not the best for Everton fans. Or whether he's grown over lockdown, I don't know. Or his arms he's improved his own wingspan.
Looking like Goretzka. Have you seen Leon Goretzka's transformation?
I've not watched that much of the Bundesliga.
Holy shit! That guy was hitting the weight, big style, while he was away. Holy shit! He looked like a machine.
Another player that should have been playing for the Reds.
Another one. Right. Anyway, we should be back on a more regular basis after this. Hopefully, in a more.
I've still been paying a monthly payment to keep this thing running.
Yeah.
On Podbean. Thanks, guys.
Hopefully, in a more organised fashion. I mean, I've just got news that I'm furloughed for 4 weeks. So.
Wow.
Fantastic.
I officially lose my job on the 9th of July. So, 6th of July. So
Sure.
I'm getting paid up until then.
I think I'm out on the 1st of August as well. So yeah, we can do an unemployment podcast as well.
Recession boys, way. Fucking hell. Right, but yeah. Until next time, hopefully we'll be coming back after a Liverpool W at Goodison Park. But yeah.
Yes. And if
Go
not,
back.
it'll be a Premier League champions Liverpool that we return to
Oh yeah, all that. But yeah.
after Crystal Palace.
On that note, adieu.
Slán live.